Coming up tonight, Race to the Top. Former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis officially launching his campaign to return as leader of the Free National Movement. Plus, wild weather conditions across the archipelago in recent weeks. We'll tell you how you can remain safe during adverse conditions. And later, a premiere fit for the stars. The new season of Journey TV, filled with stories of hope and triumph, officially launched. These stories and so much more to come as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepherd. Former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis not only asking for another chance to lead the Free National Movement, but to also lead the country. At his campaign launch on Friday night, Dr. Minnis laid out his plan to the room packed with supporters. Bethany McDermott was there for it all.
Former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis walked into the Bahamas Convention Center with his wife by his side, flanked by a crowd of supporters to launch another campaign for leader of the Free National Movement. The night saw similar faces like former Cabinet Minister Renwood Wells and former DNA leader and FNM Cabinet Minister Brandville McCartney. In his speech to the room full of FNMs, Dr. Minnis hit out at the Davis administration's approach to the country's immigration issue, pledging to address the matter in his second term in office.
All illegal shanty towns should be demolished in the Bahamas. All. FNM! I repeat, all. FNM! Those who have no legal right to be here need to be sent home.
Be good with Minnis. Be good with Minnis. Be good with Minnis. Be good with Minnis.
And structures that violate the law need to be lawfully demolished and removed.
But Dr. Minnis didn't stop there. He believes the Davis administration isn't truly committed to solving the immigration issue. He then made this commitment.
My first act would be to remove the VAT on bread basket items.
We rocking with Doc, baby. FNM! Let's do it again.
And medicine.
Dr. Minnis led the Free National Movement to a crushing defeat in the 2021 general election, soon after he lost the leadership race to Michael Pintard. There has been much speculation since then of a faction within the party still supporting Dr. Minnis for leader. The two will go head-to-head on June 1st at the party's one-day convention. McCartney was on hand for the campaign launch and introduced Dr. Minnis.
I would like for him to do it again. So therefore, if Dr. Minnis is to do it again, he must regain the leadership of the FNM.
Despite speculation that the two leadership contenders are at odds, Minnis maintains he will continue to support the party no matter the outcome on June 1st.
After the convention, we will all be together in defeating the PLP. We will all be together in restoring good governance to our land.
We rocking with Doc, baby.
We will all be together as we build a better Bahamas for our generations.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Bethany McDermott.
An alleged drowning on the island of Eleuthera claiming the life of a 39-year-old male resident yesterday. Police tell us that shortly before 6 p.m., they were notified that the victim fell overboard from a floating bar in the area of Palmetto Point. He was retrieved from the water in an unresponsive state. CPR was administered until his arrival at the local clinic, where he was pronounced dead by local doctors. An autopsy will be performed to determine the exact cause of death. Meantime, charges filed against a man accused of a 2019 shooting have been dismissed after a judge tossed an alleged confession. Antonio Destamar faced charges of attempted murder and possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life. The charges stemmed from an October 26, 2019, when Giovanni Lafleur was shot. Prosecutors entered a noli prosequi after Justice Guillermina Archer Minnis didn't allow the purported confession into evidence. Lafleur, otherwise known as a stickman, was shot dead while driving a bus on Robinson Road on October 4th, 2022. Well, we're now into the second quarter of 2024, and so far it appears as if tourism numbers are still soaring. This as the central bank reported as much during its March 2024 monthly economic and financial report. The Bahamian economy grew at a more moderated pace in the first quarter of 2024 when compared to the same period in 2023. The country's success is attributed to recoveries from both COVID-19 and Hurricane Dorian, high tourism numbers, sustained foreign investment and construction activity. Vice President and Group Head of Investment at RF Bank and Trust, David Slatter, shares this news bodes well for the outlook of the second quarter.
So the tourism sector is healthy, strong. Obviously, as I mentioned before, it's driven by the U.S. economy. The U.S. economy is doing a bit better than initially I thought it would be. Still, growth rate is decreasing, but not to the extent that I thought it was. So that's good for the outlook for the balance of the year for tourism. Obviously, we have a number of projects going on in the tourism sector. So in order to grow tourism, you need, first of all, the airlift, but you also need beds on which to put heads, right, if you don't have the inventory of beds. So you do have, whether it's the Airbnb filling in the gap, or you've got some new developments like the Goldwyn property that's turned out to be, I think, a successful investment. They're now building a condominium complex right next to it. So there's still a lot of interest in adding to our infrastructure from a tourism standpoint. So that's positive.
7 students in Grand Bahama injured and taken to hospital this week after lightning struck a tree at the Bishop Michael Eldon School in Freeport. The northern Bahamas experiencing severe weather conditions on Thursday, which forecasters say was associated with a cold front. Principal of the institution, Cynthia Wells, telling Our News, most of the school was dismissed so that the incident could be properly investigated and to ensure student safety. We also spoke to the Grand Bahama Power Company about the incident. Chief Operations Officer Nikita Mulling shares power crews visited the school shortly after the incident to assess the situation.
And we were able to confirm that the contact that was made with that student was indeed as a result of lightning, and it was not a result of contact with any of our infrastructure, any of our equipment, or anything of that nature.
She's reminding residents to safeguard themselves during adverse weather conditions and to pay close attention to the weather advisories.
Lightning is one that acts in a similar way to electricity. So what it does, again, is provide voltage. So what we would encourage customers to do is stay indoors until the all clear has been given and until we have been deemed safe to be outside.
The Department of Labor is known for assisting people with finding employment, but this week they did much more than that. They gave back to those in need. The project was in partnership with Cisco Bahamas. Assistant Director Simone Thurston tells us more.
It's always important to be able to give back to the community. We at the Public Employment Services Unit, on a daily basis, we are serving persons who are seeking employment, persons who are unable to secure employment at the moment. And so they are hurting, they need help. And so if we can do just a little more than tell them to check back the following day for a job.
150 people were able to walk away smiling thanks to the gesture of goodwill. HR Director at Cisco Bahamas says it was a no-brainer to partner with the Labor Department.
We generally have a wide scope partnership with the Department of Labor. Not only do we facilitate labor cases along with the Department of Labor, but they assist us greatly with our recruitment efforts, job seeker efforts, and anything else that we basically need to partner with them in terms of getting these hires in and making sure that we have jobs for the public.
Well, if you were looking up at the sky last night, you might have seen an extraordinary sight, and no, we're not being invaded by aliens. SpaceX successfully launched another batch of Starlink satellites from Cape Canaveral at 8:32 p.m., and this stunning display was visible from parts of our islands. The Falcon 9 rocket, following a southeast trajectory, made its way over the Atlantic Ocean, where it landed on a drone ship just 8.5 minutes after liftoff. The mission marks the 21st flight for this particular booster.
When Our News Weekend comes back from the break, it's a parade for peace. The annual Pentecost March is set for tomorrow, and they're hoping to bring healing to the nation. That's coming up when Our News Weekend returns.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
The Church of God of Prophecy donating 2 bulletproof vests to the Royal Bahamas Defense Force recently. It's a part of their push to help tackle the country's crime problem. The group is also preparing for its annual Pentecost March this Sunday. National District Designate Dr. Woodley Thompson says it's also about helping heal the nation.
As we are well aware, the country has been impacted by many social ills and the effects of crime and the breakdown of the family unit. And so we are seeking to pray for God to heal our land.
The parade will begin at the Church of God of Prophecy East Street Tabernacle at 2:30 p.m. The route will travel north on East Street, west on Ross Road, south on Market Street, west on Chapel Street, north on Nassau Street to Ararat Key on West Bay Street. Once there, the ecumenical church service and a concert will begin and is expected to last 2 hours.
We've gathered together some of Nassau's finest gospel artists. Kicking off will be Oslin Jadot, who hails from Bimini, very well-known gospel singer. Following him will be Edison Sumner and the Voices of Praise, a well-established gospel group. They've been been singing and ministering for over 30 years. Following them will be a dance team by the name of Remnants of Grace, originally known as the Golden Gates Gospel Dance Ministry.
When Our News Weekend comes back from the break, a corporate giant with a big reach. 15 basketball courts throughout the country on tap for major renovations. Plus,
2 Bahamians square up in the majors, and one of our country's top athletes get ready to lock up a spot in the Olympics. Our Sports Weekend is up next.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Welcome back. We check in on some baseball action, and one of our nation's best tries to secure a spot in the 2024 Olympics. Tage Adderley is here now for our Sports Weekend.
Good evening, welcome to our Sports Weekend. I'm Tage Adderley. Bahamians, including Jazz Chisholm of the Miami Marlins, took to the diamond last night. We're going to see how they did. Jazz Chisholm and the Marlins picked up a big 8-0 win over division rival New York Mets and fellow Bahamian first base coach Anton Richardson. Hitting out of the leadoff spot, Jazz went 1 for 5 with a single and a run scored, as well as a slick diving grab to get his team out of the top of the 6th inning. The win is their 3rd straight, and they should be wrapping up their 2nd game of the series against the Mets right now. In college baseball, Dante Stewart of the University of Memphis went 2 for 6 with a couple of singles, a stolen base, and 2 RBI, as his Tigers went into extras against conference rival Wichita State last night, falling 12-10 in a 13-inning marathon. The Mets and the Marlins should be wrapping up right now, and Stewart is getting honored tonight by Memphis on senior night. Now we're going to take you to the track where one of our nation's best is looking to secure a spot in the Olympics. Last week, we introduced you to our nation's decathlon record holder, Ken Mullings. Today, he's at the Hypo meeting in Götzis, Austria, looking to secure a spot in the event at the 2024 Olympics in Paris. Mullings is currently the 18th ranked decathlete in the world. He needs to be in the top 24 to punch his ticket to Paris. A finish of 17th place or better in Austria can lock up his spot. Mullings competed earlier today. We'll have more on his results for you in tomorrow's newscast. That's a wrap for sports this evening. I'm Tej Adderley. Have a great evening.
Thanks, Tej. Well, more than a dozen basketball courts across the country are set to get an upgrade. The Bahamas Striping group of companies launching a project to revitalize 15 public basketball courts. Bahamas Striping Chief Operations Officer Vibert Williams says it's all about helping the community.
We are donating 15 242 designed basketball courts all throughout Bahamaland. From end to end, 15 brand new 242 designed basketball courts.
Last month, Bahamas Striping celebrated its 15th anniversary by distributing checks to 15 organizations nationwide. As the company continues its commitment to community development, they're now aiming to revive various basketball courts throughout the country. And here's how you can help your community earn a new basketball court.
2 things that you have to do to earn your community a basketball court. So listen very carefully. The first thing that you have to do is you have to get 50 residents of your community to visit our Facebook page, Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, and like our Facebook page. Take a picture of your basketball facilities currently and make an argument to us. Sell us, motivate us, encourage us, convince us as to why your community needs a new Bahamas Group of Companies inspired 242 basketball court. So we hope that these 242 inspired basketball courts from Bahamas Striping would give us the next crop of NBA players, international players.
Still to come on Our News Weekend, transforming pain into purpose. The award-winning show Journey TV is back. We'll tell you all about it when Our News Weekend returns. Stick with us.
It has all the makings of a fairy tale.
I've seen her pan from tiny tot right up
to one of the most highly regarded coaches in U.S. women's college basketball.
Coach, she recruited a lot of our players in the programs.
Coach Yolette McPhee-McEwen behind the impressive performance of the ladies basketball team at Ole Miss University. Come join me, Sasha Lightbourne, as RTV presents an intimate look at Coach Yo's life, a dollar and a dream.
Welcome back and thanks for sticking with us. Well, we're still experiencing very hot temperatures on the outside today, but as to what you can expect in the coming days, weather-wise, Ian McKinsey joins us now from the Weather Center. Ian.
Thanks, Megan. Welcome to this feeling hot Saturday evening forecast. Currently outside our studios, few clouds at a warm temperature of 84. Winds are from the east-northeast at 10 miles per hour. Still an uncomfortable feels-like temperature of 76. Current temperatures across the country continuing warm, 84 in Freeport as well as Marsh Harbor, Great Albuquerque, and in the capital, as well as Nicholstown, 86 in Allenstown, 83 in Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera. The Central Bahamas continue with those 84s. In Kemps Bay, 83 in Georgetown and Deadman's Key, 82 in Arthurstown and Coburn Town, San Salvador. In the Southeast Bahamas, 82s in Duncantown, Delectable Bay, and in Colonel Hill, 83 in Abrahams Bay. 84 in Providenciales, 85 in Matthewtown in Nagua. Across our area right now, satellite and radar imagery, not much in terms of clouds or, of course, precip, but the weather, high pressure, dominating the area, stable conditions, dry. Keep hydrated, folks. Boating forecast, northwest Bahamas, wind southerly 10 to 15, north seas 2 to 4 feet, low tide 11:32 p.m. tonight, high tide at 5:35 a.m. tomorrow morning. In the central and southeast Bahamas, those winds east to southeast 10 to 15, north seas 2 to 4, but up to 5 feet offshore, mainly in the southeast Bahamas, comfortable boating conditions. In your extended forecast, we still expect pretty much those not so mild, but very warm temperatures, getting hot at times. We expect those temperatures to surge back into the upper 80s, low 90s across most areas, pretty much most of the week. 1 or 2 showers popping up across our area on Wednesday. That's all courtesy of a frontal system. Also on Friday, low temperatures hovering around the mid 70-degree mark. Make it a great, safe, fun night, everyone. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and keep safe.
Great advice, Ian. Well, it was an evening of glamour as Journey TV premiered their new season recently with a red carpet event. The launch also marked their Jubilee celebration. Our entertainment correspondent Danielle Miller was there.
This is Journey TV set. No, we are not about to air an episode of Journey TV, nor is this a glitch in your newscast. But we are here at their Jubilee celebration at the Atlantis Theater. Curated to inspire viewers to transform their pain into purpose, the award-winning TV show premiered its new season with a launch party and special screening. Over the years, the show has seen its share of national and international treasures, sharing their stories of trial and triumph. Guests like Dasquay, Catherine Coakley, Keishel Davis, and the evening's special guest, famous podcaster Lataris Whitfield, host of the Dear Future Wifey podcast.
What was so amazing about the episode I did with Journey TV is, unlike a lot of interviews I've done, we talked about everything.
Erlene Camille, who is the creator and an award-winning host, tells me she is amazed by the success of the show, as it all began with a prayer for her restoration and healing, which led to a blog, now a television show. The show, which officially launched in 2020, held a red carpet event at the historic Atlantis Theater.
I'm kind of like just moving through my process, trusting my process. And as I move through, these amazing things have been happening. How does it feel? I am still processing the feeling, but it is great to know that I am inspiring others.
As she prepared to grace the theater stage, I asked her to describe how she felt about Journey TV's local and global impact.
For me, the focus is always about the work and about serving others. So I'm kind of more focused on how it's inspiring others, because every platform for me is about spreading hope and healing. So I haven't processed it as far as how it feels for me, but I'm grateful that it is a part of my legacy.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
Thanks, Danielle, and thank you so much for joining us for Our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Of a safe and wonderful evening.